Coming up this hour, NDC will not sign a peace pact in the lead-up to elections in December. We will hear the explanation from party chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia.
Declaration don't mean anything to us.
A peace declaration. It doesn't mean anything to you?
It doesn't mean anything to us because all previous declarations have not been adhered to, and those declarations have not solved any problem.
Also coming up, Energy Ministry moves to settle debts, assures constant power supply as ECG negotiate with creditors to clear current debts owed IPPs.
As things stand now, the legacy debt is being tackled by the Ministry of Finance, and ECG is tackling the current debt, out of which 60% is current and then 40% is deferred.
There's more as the ministry also vows to crack down on ECG officials found culpable of manipulating the metering system to their benefit. Plus, hear from the ECG on the continuous power theft by customers. Also this evening, Interior Minister Henry Korte fights allegations he tried to bribe NDC MPs with slots in the security services. As he explains, he only asked them to get their constituent to go through the process. Start off from the health sector because the Ghana Health Service has heightened its surveillance and emergency response systems to quickly detect possible cases of Mpox, which has surged in the sub-region. This follows the declaration of the disease by the African Center for Disease Control and Prevention as a public health emergency of security concern on Tuesday. Here's what you should know about Mpox. Now, if you check, the World Health Organization declares Mpox outbreak a global health emergency. What does that mean? Now, in 2024 alone, we've recorded 15,600 cases worldwide. Again, about 537 deaths have been recorded this year. Now, the World Health Organization explains what Mpox is. Mpox is monkeypox, and it's a viral illness caused by the monkeypox virus. Two different, clades of this exist. We have clade 1 and clade 2. Now, again, when you have Mpox, what you would see to show that you have it is that you have skin rashes, which last between 2 to 4 weeks. You have fever, you have a headache, swollen lymph nodes, and low energy. Now, again, how does this transmit from one person to the other? Physical contact with infected persons, also contact with respiratory droplets of someone who has it, or animal to human transmission. So these are the ways that Mpox can be transmitted. But how do we treat Mpox? The goal of treating Mpox is to take care of the rash which comes on your skin, manage the pain and prevent complications. And getting an Mpox vaccine can help prevent infection. So you should get one for yourself. Now, how do you take care of yourself and how do you prevent yourself from getting Mpox? Most people with Mpox will recover within 2 to 4 weeks, but do not scratch sores, which can, which can be slow to healing, spread a rash to other parts of the body, and cause sores to become infected. So that is by way of informing you. Away from that, the Energy Ministry says it is engaged in ongoing negotiations with its creditors in the energy sector to settle outstanding debts and ensure the efficient operation of the Electricity Company of Ghana without disruptions. Currently, the debt is more than $1 billion after an initial $400 million was paid to 5 independent power producers. There's more in this report.
Minister of State at the Energy Ministry, Herbert Krapper, has assured that efforts are underway to settle the current outstanding debts of the Electricity Company of Ghana. Although a portion of the debts have been categorized as legacy debts, the ministry is taking concrete steps to address the current financial obligations. Mr. Krapper made these remarks during a working visit to the Accra West ECG office at Averno, where he engaged with officials and staff to discuss the company's financial challenges and strategies for improvement.
He continues to service, together with the Ministry of Finance, these debts. The renegotiated terms have gone to cabinet. They will go to parliament, and then once it is ratified, they can become effective. But as things stand now, the legacy debt is being tackled by the Ministry of Finance, and ECG is tackling the current debt, out of which 60% is current and then 40% is deferred. We have also done a tariff levelization. We've levelized the tariff so that those who have front-loaded their tariffs, we've spread it evenly across, so that the debt overhang can be reduced. The renegotiated terms help us to reduce the pressure on ECG, reduce ECG's monthly commitments that they have to make to the IPCPs, and they are being currently on those.
Assurance that we are going to have constant power supply.
I mean, constant power supply is the overriding consideration. I'm sure you have heard me say over and again that constant power supply is my #1 priority as minister, and I will ensure that.
A major challenge with power supply to customers is faulty meters. Mr. Krapa revealed ECG has a backlog of over 1 million meters and urged them to expedite the distribution process to address the challenges for the customers.
As I told them, pay attention to the meter rollout exercise. I'll pay attention to how long it takes, how soon they are able to tackle customer complaints, and whether they are keeping to my charge of making sure that customer complaints are dealt with within hours. And I'll keep an eye also on my charge that recalcitrant officers who are creating problems should be dealt with. Heads must roll when we find that persistently some people are just making it difficult for us to provide quality and affordable and efficient service to our customers.
But the ECG is worried about the growing trend of customers using dubious means to bypass their system to steal power. Dr. Benis Yabua Dramina is head of customer services at ECG.
Customers, like we are saying, we've done these things, but we've realized that most of them are now trying to bypass facilities. And if we are here, we want to use this platform to educate every customer that we will not sleep. And when we get you, the law will take its course. Complaints. So we want to tell the public, the Ghanaian public, that ECD, we have meetings. We have meetings. Do not go to anybody known as a Goro boy or not. And
now, Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has expressed concern over the uneven distribution of resources in the Planting for Food and Job Phase 2 program. During a press conference in Accra, Executive Director of the association, Bismarck Norte, said most of their members have yet to benefit from the second phase of the program, which was designed to build on the successes of the initial program while addressing its limitations. The peasant farmers say the current drought in the northern Ghana could lead to food shortage and possible crisis if urgent interventions are not made by government and other stakeholders. They have complained about not benefiting from the One Village, One Dam policy and other flagship government programs aimed at improving agriculture.
Issue faced by farmers all over the country, especially in the northern and middle belts, is the lack of rainfall, which has caused many crops to wilt. For centuries, the Ghanaian farmer have relied on rains to nourish our crops, cultivate various types of crops, and to sustain the food security of the country. However, this year, the rains have failed and has put us in a state which we believe is quite close to the 1983 drought, and we know how devastating that effect was. The extended dry spells have left thousands of acres parched up, crops stunted, and are at the brink of crop failure in several farming communities in the Bono East, Upper West, Northern, Northeast, part of Volta and Oti regions.
John is observing an alarming trend where illegal mining is increasingly taking place within settlement of major towns and along highways of the country. At Korongo, Asaman, Tamfo, and Osino, mining is being done with impunity along the main Kumasi-Accra road in violation of environmental and water quality laws. Love FM's Erastus Asiedu and his team have been traveling the Kumasi-Accra stretch, assessing the situation in our reports.
Galamsey is worsening in many communities across the country, with miners operating glaringly in violation of environmental laws. A clear case is this illegal mining activity happening in the middle of the Konongo township, a few meters from the main Kumasi-Accra road. In a clear violation of the Environmental Protection Act 1994, the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, and the Water Resources Commission Act 1996, the miners have redirected the Owerri stream, which flows through the town, and destroyed large parts of the wetlands, contaminating sources of water for the community.
I doubt if what is happening in this valley, which is a violation of the law, has a written permission or consent from the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Some of the miners we found at the site justified their illegal mining activity.
Interview for listening to my chain. But still, it's not which anywhere. I could for this is aware. I know. I ask the government that I could do and about me spoil the country, what they expect us to do. Shall we go and steal or what? Huh? The Bauman and his Sakofado. They're supposed to manage the country well for the youth to enjoy. Don't say we. Eh, pop up ya. Ya better need am I a man? Mota Queen somebody said Macamaka watching Boga watching to our watching on my Queen say Hutana. I'm Tom Quamuana. Don't you have everything? Yeah, wait. I'm going to some watching Queen.
One of them approached us in an angry mood, inquiring our mission to the place. Perhaps there is a law enforcement holiday for nature crimes. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kumasi.
Now, the municipal assemblies in Accra have taken a bold step to slash air pollution emissions by 30% by 2030 as the city embraces the Breathe Cities initiative. This ambitious move comes in response to the silent menace of air pollution, which claims over 28,000 lives annually in Ghana. At an event in Accra, stakeholders unveiled plans to deploy a network of sensors to vigilantly monitor pollution hotspots. Beat reporter Michael Ashley has more in the following report.
In 2019, Ghana saw approximately 23,000 deaths from malaria, 14,000 from HIV/AIDS, and 10,000 from tuberculosis. Alarmingly, air pollution caused even more fatalities, with at least 28,000 deaths that year. Air pollution has become a major concern in Accra.
With high levels of particulate matter, people breathe these things in, and it affects their lungs and how the lungs perform.
Factories and waste burning are to blame for a lot of pollutants, but transport, especially the old fleet of trotros, is the biggest single contributor. Ayawaso West Municipal Health Director, Dr. Louisa Ademki-Mate explains.
For the past 3 years, in most districts, you will see that respiratory tract infections are high on there.
Dr. Ademki says vulnerable groups tend to suffer the most.
It's just a vicious cycle. Because you don't have the money, now you are getting sicker. It just perpetuates the poverty.
Desmond Appiah, country lead of Clean Air Fund, says there's an urgent need for a more comprehensive research.
The outdoor or ambient air quality is getting worse. And so it means something is still not clicking, something is still amiss. There's not a lot of localized research, and that's what we are trying to change in our system.
The city of Accra has now joined the Breathe Cities initiative. It is a first of its kind initiative from Clean Air Fund, C40 Cities, and Bloomberg Philanthropies.
And we hope by the end of the process of the Breathe Accra, we would have been able to reduce the pollution levels by a good 30% or so, because at the rate that it is going, it is not healthy for any of us.
A network of 60 low-cost sensors and reference grid monitors have been installed across the city to provide real-time air pollution levels. Adentan is home to some of these sensors. The early data is already making a difference.
Quickly, we deployed people. They realized that there were issues. One had to do with some burning that was taking place. So quickly, action was taken.
Jacob Johnson Atakpa, project coordinator of the Green Africa Youth Organization, GAYO, says they are also making progress with support from Clean Air Fund,
as well as recycling all the recyclables that are in the system to ensure resource efficiency and sustainable production and consumption.
According to the WHO, meeting the air quality guidelines of 10 micrograms per meter cube for PM 2.5 could prevent more than 1,000 deaths annually in Greater Accra. For Joy News, Michael Ashale.
Now, the Public Accounts Committee has called for investigation into the fraudulent activities of a former employee of New Times Corporation. The former cashier was cited by the Auditor General for embezzling over 100,000 Ghana cedis between 2020 and 2021 through fabricated receipts and other fraudulent acts. Listen to what transpired between Managing Director of New Times Corporation, Martin Edu Owusu, and members of the committee.
We didn't notice it until the external auditors came in to identify it at that time. After it has been identified, we realized that there were some of the receipts she tore them, and we didn't. She kept them. She tore the receipts and kept them, and then some of the monies too were not banked, and even some of the whole receipts could also not be found. So unfortunately, this is what happened. And she doesn't look like somebody who can do this, but
Chairman,
this is what happened.
MD, I think you are digging deeper and deeper. Honorable Park.
And so if the lady in question had a superior who she was reporting to, that superior should have had documentation about how many receipt booklets have been given, and probably should have been inspecting her work and the collections periodically. Chairman, this is an issue that needs to be flagged.
Clerk, please flag this one. I think we need to do a deeper investigation on this.
This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back. Let's do Election Headquarters now, and that is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, and the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, also by the Chopbox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. Well, the national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, has announced that the party will not be signing any peace pact as the election approaches. In an interview on PM Express, Mr. Nketia questioned the effectiveness of such agreement based on experiences. He criticized the tendency to focus on peace agreement only after tensions have risen, urging authorities to tackle the root causes of potential violence before it escalates.
The declaration don't mean anything to us.
A peace declaration. It doesn't mean anything to you.
It doesn't mean anything to us because all previous declarations have not been adhered to, and those declarations have not solved any problem. If you allow violence to be brewed, you have violence, whether you sign declaration or not. And so that is why, for more than a year ago, I started talking about the need for us to remove the building blocks for violent elections. So at any stage, when something is happening, I call on those who in future will call us to sign declarations to speak up so that we stop this particular thing from happening. Otherwise, if you allow all those things to build up, and you say that, let us go and play peace football match, let us sign declaration, let us do this with the hope that we will get a peaceful election. Peaceful election will not happen. Because we did all this in 2020. All this and more in 2020. Council of State, Peace Council, everybody was involved, signing declarations left, right, center. The 2020 election turned out to be the most violent elections in the whole of the Fourth Republic.
So this year, not
so
signing.
So it tells you that signing or no signing is not the issue.
Ms. Asiedu Nketia also explained that President Akufo-Addo has more credibility than Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, which is why their flag bearer won't debate him.
It is a completely worthless exercise. So we don't think that it will serve any purpose at all. And we will not waste our time on debating Dr. Bawumia or Napo or anybody. My guiding principles are two. Don't debate an idiot and don't debate a liar. So any of these two who tempts me for any debate, I ignore them.
You're not calling by this the presidential candidate of the governing New Patriotic Party an idiot and a liar.
No, I'm not saying the two must fit one person, but when you look at the two categorization, you see that he's a liar. That one is something nobody can contest. I'm not too sure whether he's an idiot, but at least I'm sure he's a liar. So, in my capacity as the national chairman, I have made it very, very clear to our flag bearer that we are not going to engage in a debate with a liar.
Well, for more on this, we've been joined by Reverend Father Michael Kweku, who is Director for Governance, Justice and Peace of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference and Catholic Chaplain to Parliament. He joins me via Zoom here. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining. Now, I mean, you've heard the national chairman say that they won't sign a peace pact. What do you make of that declaration by him?
Well, I think that his concerns were broader than just the non-signing of the declaration, and which concerns we believe ought to be attended to. But we also believe that it is not something that some other people have to be doing, because it is all of us.
Okay.
All of us, citizens and leaders, political actors and others. So I think that it is a valid concern we want to look at and we want to work at. I hope that General himself and his comrades in the opposition NDC will be willing for conversation and working together to make sure that we all build this peaceful country that we desire. So if it's his concern that we should deal with all the other variables in this whole maze of a political drama, then let us all work towards it. My appeal would be that it shouldn't be seen that it is some other person's responsibility and that we have no role to play.
Okay.
So I'm still hoping that even if the declaration is not signed, they'll be committed to peace. I think that is more important. If at any point in time he encourages his brothers and sisters in the opposition NDC to sign it, what an incredible feat it will be.
Okay.
But if he and our brothers and sisters in the opposition NDC are committed to peace, as we hope they are, then I think that is a much bigger and much valuable currency.
But how would we know they are committed to peace when they do not sign the pact? And again, who should lead the process?
How would know? I think that we're all talking, and as you may have heard the president of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference addressing a similar incident from one of our brothers in the MPP. He stated that it is important for all politicians to understand that Ghana is bigger than any other person's political ambitions, and so we think that we all as a nation have to build and sustain a certain discourse which helps the peace building process. It is a process, and as a process, all of us have to be hands on deck and working towards it. I have a role in it. I believe that all my brothers and sisters in the various political parties have a role in it.
Okay.
Not long ago, just over a week now, the Catholic Bishops Conference, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Security, with GJA, and with CRS, we launched a 5-year a peace-building policy, which we have invited all other stakeholders to join us in working and building a peaceful and cohesive society. So if you ask me who should work towards it, I think everyone. And we have various institutions and
but I was looking at who leads. Is it a Catholic Bishops Conference, or is it who? Who should lead the process?
We are doing our bit. We are working around the clock behind the scenes with all the stakeholders. As I talk to you now, last week when the bishops met in their extraordinary plenary session, they resolved and it's in the books to meet these two main political parties, because at the just ended Sahel Peace Initiative forum, sadly the representatives from these two main political parties were not present, whilst the others were. But we haven't given up. We believe that they will be willing to come to the negotiation table for serious conversation about the good of our country. So we have hope in them.
Thank you. I'm grateful to you, Father, for joining us. Reverend Father Michael Kweku is with the Catholic Bishops Conference now. Away from that, the Interior Minister, Henry Korte, is fighting allegations he tried to bribe NDC MPs with slots in the security services in a bid to get them to soften their position on recruitment into the security services. Now, the national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, has alleged the minister tried to bribe NDC MPs following concerns raised by the group. The minority have petitioned Shraj to investigate what they say is a clandestine attempt by the government to recruit its party foot soldiers into the security agencies. Now, Asiedu Nketia claims the minister offered the NDC MPs a chance to bring 2 persons each to be recruited in a bid to get them to drop their opposition.
So it tells you that signing or no signing is not the issue. What we have to talk about is the building blocks that will create the violence. We have come out to talk about the illegal recruitment of some 10,000 persons into the security services. It is brewing now. Peace Council should talk about it. It's a public discourse. Let's hear them. Let's hear the Catholic Bishops Conference or whoever wants us to sign document in future. If we sit there and allow this government to just select party members, 10,000 of them, train them and deploy them on election day to if you like, maintain peace at polling stations. What will declaration do to avert what is likely to happen there? So now they have the list of 10,000 people that have been shortlisted. It is on the desk of the Interior Minister. And he's trying to find a way of making sure that these people get recruited into the security services. Our MPs challenge them. Look, at some point, the Interior Minister himself now went to Parliament to try to, if you like, bribe our MPs. That look, bring 2 from your constituency and let's add them so that you allow me to do it. And they have rejected it flatly.
He did this openly? Or
he did this to our MPs in Parliament. So I went there They told me, and I said, don't give one person to them, because you add one person and they recruit 10,000.
You described it as a bribe. Was this something he said on the floor, or was meeting privately?
He called them privately and offered
made the offer to
the
them.
leadership. And we said that they shouldn't. And any NDC person who fall for that, you make sure that you have challenges in your constituency.
But in an exclusive interview with Joy News, Henry Korte denies the claims. He explained, however, that in a meeting held behind closed doors with all MPs, he encouraged MPs to get their constituents who had applied in 2021 and 2022 to go through the process, insisting that was not an attempt to bribe them.
I am once again disappointed in the choice of word and an attempt to incite the good people of this country against the security architecture of this country. First of all, we must guard against politicizing security in this country. It's a very, very, very dangerous thing that the NDCs are doing. With the greatest of respect, this is not a gender ministry. The greatest of respect, it is not an agreed ministry. Respectfully, here, it is not a roads ministry. This is the security architecture of the country. Anybody that decides to politicize the running of security in this country probably may not know that it is likely to create problems for us as a country. And
but did you ever ask the opposition MPs, I mean, whilst you're recruiting security personnel, did you ever speak to your colleague members on the other side to say, yeah, we're recruiting, so if you have persons, you can bring them for us to do that?
So there it was agreed that we should advertise, but we shouldn't sell forms. And so we agreed, and then subsequently, because I am not in charge of recruiting, Interior does not recruit, those people who bought forms in 2021, they have got their tracking numbers and all that, but for some reason have not been able to be attended to, can apply, or rather indicate, and the security agencies have given out an email address or something where people have done so. Now, members of parliament, you have to go through this process by ensuring that your people actually have their tracking numbers and everything as citizens of this country, not necessarily as politicians. So if a member of parliament has got a constituent of his or hers who indeed in 2021-22 applied but has not been considered, the idea is that, okay, let them put it through, but not to do protocol and to bribe them. No.
Henry Korte warned the NDC national chairman to desist from politicizing recruitment into the security agencies.
And again, I've read online that he said, I have a list of 10,000 people on my table. I think that is a big lie. You know,
okay. So if you feel he's slighted you or made pronouncement that really taints your integrity, what will you do? Take up legal action against him?
Oh, you know, there's a video going round when my good brother made a very strong statement when he was in opposition against government. Eventually, when he came before the vetting committee, he said, it was a political talk. And he was asked whether it's correct. He said he's used his tongue to do it. We are in a political thing. Frankly speaking, I'm not going to waste my time and energy to go to court over this. I'm not going to do that. But I just want to make it clear that there was no attempt to bribe any NDC member of parliament, and I don't have a list of 10,000 people on my desk. No. The decision between minority and majority was that let us advertise. Let us give a fair opportunity and to Ghanaians, wherever they are, to also put in the application. That we have done.
Away from that, out of the 18 vote origin seats in Ghana's parliament, the MPP has only one. Before the 2020 elections, the NDC had won the Hohoe constituency seat in every parliamentary election since the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1992. Incumbent MPP John Peter Ameu changed the status quo for the party in the 2020 elections. However, the NDC is determined to take back the seat, with its supporters and flag bearer optimistic that the NDC's candidate Thomas Walanyo Chekpo will win it back. Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
Before 2020, the NDC had won the Hohoe constituency seat in every parliamentary election since the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1992. In the 2020 parliamentary elections, John Peter Amewu, a member of the NPP and the then Minister of Energy, contested the seat. He polled 26,952 votes, which was 55.18% of the total vote cast. The NDC candidate, Professor Margaret Kweku, received 21,821 votes, representing 44.12%, a little over 5,000 votes more than the NDC candidates. However, members of the NDC and the party's flag bearer are determined to win the seat back. Here at the Zongo Adabraka Park, party supporters have gathered in large numbers. Although the NDC lost the parliamentary election, it won the presidential vote in the constituency.
For NDC candidate, Honorable Chekwe Walanyo, he has won already. He has won already. We are just waiting for 7th December for electoral commission to declare me a winner. For Amewu, he doesn't have anything in Hohoe. He just making math.
He has done a lot for this constituency.
We don't see what he does. We, the NDC, especially the Hohoe Zongo community, is bragging over there. I do a lot for Zongo community. We, as a Zongo people, we don't see anything that he does for Zongo community.
Yeah, my name is Hussein Arimiao. To add a little what my brother has just said, I think if you join car from where you are coming, when you reach Zongo, you should initiate the road from Zongo to this place. I've seen you've seen it. So if a true son of this town, why will you allow your town to do like that? If only you care for this town. That is why we want change, and it must happen. That is why we want a full Walano Cheko to come and rescue this Hohoe township.
NDC flag bearer John Mahama says the party is determined to take the seat back.
And so, we must choose the truth always. I won in this constituency, presidential, but we lost parliamentary. And we all know why we lost the parliamentary. We all know why we lost the parliamentary. And I'm asking people to search their consciences, because it's not the sustainable way. NDC can also say, we won't do any development. We won't extend electricity. We won't build schools. We won't do hospitals. We won't bring water. We won't do the roads. We'll keep the money. And then when it's getting to elections, we'll come for your Momo numbers. And we'll send you 500, 500, 500, 500. There will be a branch of the Women's Bank in this whole market.
Now, members of the Youth Caucus for Alan Chamanti in the Bono region have declared their total support for the new Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, in the December elections. At a press conference in Sunyani led by Geoffrey Brobe, quoting the group, aside from appealing to all aggrieved members to join them in campaigning for the victory of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and the parliamentary candidates called on the national executives to take immediate steps to resolve concerns of aggrieved members to ensure a formidable front ahead of the elections.
This afternoon, we have just one main purpose: to call upon our people around the region, both Alan supporters and Canadian Japan supporters, and even party faithfuls who, due to one or two reasons, are peeved and are in the house, not campaigning to support our flag bearer and his vice. We are calling on each and every person to come out and campaign massively to support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and all our parliamentary candidates across the region. Per all indications, after the 7th December elections, MPP, with our flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is going to be the president of Ghana 2025. We are then calling on all supporters of MPP to come on board for us to push our campaign forward to win the 7th December elections. We are, with this medium, pleading to the national headquarters, the regional, the constituency, to make sure that all aggrieved members are brought on board, and also thanking the national headquarters for instituting a committee going around the country talking to people who are peeved to come on board to support our flag bearer. We say, with one strength, with one vision, we can make it happen, and it is possible to make Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the president of Ghana coming 7th December and being sworn on the 7th January 2025 as the next president of the Republic of Ghana.
The election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity, and the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, also by the Chopbox Technologies, a convenience service, and the Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging the gap for positive youth development. We'll take a break and we'll bring you Showbiz right after. All right, let's do Showbiz now. And you know what? The queen of the showbiz business, eh? Yeah, the show business, showbiz business is here. Becky Beggs, how are you?
I'm blushing.
I can see that. But yeah, that's your title, you know.
Thank you so much, praise. I really appreciate it. Let's take it cool. It's a Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just taking it cool.
Yeah, how's GS Concierge doing?
That's doing well. We're taking it step by step, but we'll talk about the gospel music industry now. So we had a question for the gospel industry players about the state of the industry. My colleague Nicholas spoke to Ohima Mercy, PACA Esther, and the very beautiful lady, I always call her the beautiful goddess of the gospel music industry. They spoke to us about the state of the gospel music industry. Here you go.
You cannot say you've done enough. I mean, so far as you are still alive, you still keep on doing the God's work, keep on winning souls, because day in, day out, I mean, you need to go out there and then look for people who hasn't heard about Christ and then, I mean, talk to them about Christ. So since we are on earth and our work here is not yet done, we cannot say we are done. We'll still go out there and then preach the word of God to win souls for Christ.
In fact, we are trying. Yes, we are trying to possess the nation. We are trying to possess the world. We are trying whatever that we are doing now. Look, as if we can't do it all, but we are trying. We are possessing them for the Christ.
Gospel music is not just on the pulpit, but gospel music cuts across. If somebody in Kenya was able to be healed out of otimimu and miwuda and all that, it means that we are actually touching souls. And for me, even on the social media, with what God is using me for, yes, we have lots. We need more of soldiers to help us win more souls. Yes, we're doing well, but we need more of it to affect and make impact and to bring people into the kingdom of God. And I'm telling you, in this end time, the devil is so busy, and we have to also get ourselves busy for the Lord.
And that's exactly what we're doing, getting ourselves busy for the Lord so that this industry can excel. But we know that we're in an election year, 2024. It's either you're voting for the NDC, the MPP, the Afafranto, the New Force, the CPP,
the PNC,
the independent candidates, PMPs. Yeah.
The National Liberation Congress.
They're all part of it.
They call something the National Union Movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You need to educate all of us on, all the people that...
I mean, you get it. This is the election.
Yeah, obviously, this is the election headquarters. So EL, musician EL, is saying that he hasn't voted in a while, and so this year he will be voting, and so his vote will make a difference.
Never done any political song. I don't know. Me? Or you do somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, political songs. I have a song called This Country on Bar 6. That was the last political song that I did, speaking about my thoughts on the state of the economy. I also have a song on one of the bar, I think, was it bar 2 or 3? Bar 2, State of the Nation Address as well. So, yeah, I get a few political songs. Charlie.
But it's not for a political party. It's not endorsing a
No. It's not endorsing any particular political
You are
party.
addressing the situation.
The situation. Me, I'm just an observer. Although I have my loyalties, I'm not exposing them on wax just yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying he will vote. But as to the party he's going to vote for,
I haven't voted in a long time, but this year they're among for votes.
Why this year?
Because it be critical. It be critical. Where I believe say me my vote could make a difference. So
the person who go vote for he go win.
Yeah. Me I go feel make the last
the last one.
The last vote we go there top with my own. So I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we are just the people or the citizenry underestimate our voice. And Ghana actually belongs to us. It doesn't belong to the people who lead us. We are the ones who we have employed them.
Yeah.
We are the ones who they are working for. So I think our voices should be heard.
This evening on Prime Movie Boss, Great and Mighty is a movie series by Empress Production. It's premiering actually today. It's a birthday today, Danama McBrown. And so this is your Prime Movie Box. So Great and Mighty premieres tomorrow actually on Empress YouTube or Empress Production. You should join Danama McBrown and the rest of the crew for this groundbreaking movie series.
All right.
That'll be all for the show this evening. Please brush your teeth with Pepsodent this evening, and tomorrow morning when you wake up, because with Pepsodent every smile. It's also log on to myjoyonline.com. That's where you find all the news. We're grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
All right. Gracias.